The incident we are talking about today happened in Guyong Town, Changshan County, Guizhou Province. Changshan County belongs to the Qiannanbai and Miao Autonomous Prefecture. It is a relatively isolated place, and Guyong Town is even more remote and isolated. On November 23, 2011, a big event happened in this small town. A villager, Lao Li, was driving his cattle home in the afternoon and passed by a remote garbage dump. Inadvertently, he took a look and found an object. He was so frightened that he ran away, and even the cow couldn't catch up with him. It was a burned remains of more than 1 meter long. Lao Li didn't see clearly at the time. It looked like a human being and another animal. He hurried back home. After returning home, the more he thought about it, the more he realized it was a person, so he called the police. The Changshan County Public Security Bureau immediately rushed to the scene after receiving the alarm. The scene was a garbage dump in Guyong Town, where many things are usually burned. The entire body had been charred. After forensic examination, it was found that only a small piece of the skull remained. The body was beyond recognition, and it was impossible to determine whether it was a human or an animal. But whether it is a human or an animal, it must be found out. If it is a human being, this is likely to be a murder case and must be investigated with all efforts. To be sure, more in-depth testing and identification would have to be done by a forensic scientist, but this is usually for better preserved cases. The remains were highly carbonized and the cell tissue was completely destroyed. The forensic doctor of the County Public Security Bureau was unable to identify the remains, so they took samples of the remains and rushed them to the technical department of the Guizhou Provincial Public Security Department for species identification. The next day, the police came to the scene again to investigate and found new clues, the wreckage of a motorcycle, with only the iron frame remaining and some burnt motorcycle tire marks. According to the on-site investigation, the wheels should have been tied to the motorcycle and burned, which is very strange. Normal tires should be installed on motorcycles. How come they are tied to motorcycles? Therefore, this motorcycle became a key piece of evidence. The police speculated that the remains of the body might have been burned together with the motorcycle. If so, would it still be an animal carcass? If it is an animal, then burning the poultry and livestock will not keep them tied to the motorcycle. At the same time, the forensic identification results of the technical section of the Guizhou Provincial Public Security Department came out. After identification, the remains were human, a corpse, and the deceased was a male. After the news came out, the local people were very scared because there was a murder case here, and the murder case was burned down to only the skeleton. The most important thing now is to determine the source of the body and the identity of the deceased. Only in this way can we determine whether it was suicide, accident, or murder, and the cause of death. Based on the on-site investigation, the police listed several possibilities for the death of the deceased. First of all, the police learned that the wreckage was first found on a motorcycle. Is it possible that the deceased had an accident while driving the motorcycle while drunk, causing the motorcycle to explode and burning everyone together? Although the garbage dump where the wreckage is located is in the wilderness, there are no hard objects nearby, just domestic garbage. If this is the case, the motorcycle should not explode. Only if it hits something very sharp at an extremely fast speed can it cause a deflagration. But there is no road next to the garbage dump, and the terrain is uneven. The speed of the motorcycle cannot be very fast. Even if it falls, it will not have much impact. Therefore, the police believe that even drunk driving is unlikely to cause the fuel tank to explode and burn the driver to death. It seems that an accident due to drunk driving is unlikely. The second possibility is that the deceased was robbed while driving a motorcycle in this place. Unfortunately, he was killed by the robbers during the resistance process. In order to cover up the crime, the robbers transported the body to the garbage dump and burned it to eliminate traces. Because the local transportation is not very convenient and the economy is not developed, motorcycle riders are also called motorcycle riders. This is a relatively common occupation, but it is also relatively dangerous. Since nowhere is developed, these small roads are also very remote and blocked, so it is difficult to detect anything that happens. But thinking about it again, if it was a robbery, the main purpose should be to grab cash and the previous belongings. Is it necessary to drag the body far away and burn it? Besides, a motorcycle driver doesn't make much money either. It only costs 3 to 5 yuan for this trip, so how much money can he have on him? The most valuable thing is the motorcycle, so you should rob the motorcycle and sell it, but the motorcycle is burned, so the probability of robbery is not high. The third possibility is that the deceased was involved in a traffic accident while riding a motorcycle with another vehicle and died accidentally. In order to avoid responsibility, the perpetrator took the deceased to the garbage dump and lit a fire to destroy the body. However, further analysis is not logical. Under normal circumstances, traffic accidents are very sudden, right? They all happen suddenly and in an instant. If the accident happened during the day, the driver who caused the accident would have panicked after discovering that he had hit and killed the person. He would have to wait until he calmed down to figure out what to do, and then find a place to burn the body in the garbage dump. This would take a long time, and it would be impossible. Undetected. What about the other situation? The accident didn't happen during the day. But it happens at night. Country road at night. No passersby saw it at that time. Is that possible? After the police have analyzed it. Also denies this possibility. Because a man was riding a motorcycle on this remote country road in the middle of the night. Then this person should be a local. However, after interviews and surveys, there are no missing persons in the area. We also said it before. During the police's second on-site investigation, remains of burnt tires were found, including the steel rims of the tires. But judging from the size of the steel ring, why? It's a tire, but not motorcycle tires. So, why did this steel ring appear at the scene? That leaves only the last possibility. Murder, intentional homicide, only intentional homicide can provide reasonable explanations for these doubts at the scene. But according to Lowley, who reported the case, when he saw the wreckage, this wreckage is from that motorcycle, together with the motorcycle. But when the police come here again, this wreckage just slipped off the motorcycle. Not on that motorcycle. Then the wreckage must have been moved by something. Maybe an animal. It may also be other. According to Lowley, the wreckage was probably on a motorcycle, and the tire was pressing on the deceased. In this way, the porcelain can be pressed firmly. Easy to burn. Also, why did this wreckage appear in this remote garbage dump? Then the murderer must be familiar with the local terrain. Or it was carefully planned. Have stepped on it beforehand. Only then did we find this remote garbage dump. Taking these clues into account, this case is definitely a premeditated murder. So who is the victim? Who is this murderer? Why kill people? Let's sort out the information we have learned now. Human remains found. The location is in a remote garbage dump. A burned motorcycle. There are also wire rings that are not motorcycle tires. This is some information now. So based on this information, where to start? The police first targeted the motorcycle, despite serious damage. But there is still useful information left on the engine. Don't all engines have engine numbers? Restoration through technology. I extracted this number. Then compare it on the National Public Security Intranet. The origin of the motorcycle was finally determined. This is a motorcycle from Zhejiang province. My gosh. Zhejiang and Guizhou. Thousands of kilometers apart. How did you get there? At present, we can only find the owner of the motorcycle first. Find the owner. Maybe we can know the identity of the deceased. What kind of person would ride a motorcycle all the way from Zhejiang to Guizhou? If he is from Zhejiang, how could you die in a foreign country? The police found the owner of this car through the internet. With the assistance of Zhejiang police, I spoke to the car owner. At that time, the car owner said it was impossible. My motorcycle has never been to Guizhou. My car is still parked at home. Nothing happened to me. The local police were called to collect evidence. Take a look. As expected, that car is parked well at home. This means that the motorcycle burned in Guizhou. This is a cloned car. The engine number and frame number were artificially cloned. So I want to find a breakthrough point from this motorcycle. It's impossible now. The car was burned. It's not an original car. It is assembled from many different brands of motorcycle parts. A no-name car. Engine number. The chassis numbers are also fake. Since this road doesn't work, then find another way. Then let's analyze it from the tire wire ring found at the scene. So can we find a breakthrough point from this steel ring? We talked about it in the last episode. I tried to check the motorcycle but couldn't find anything. It was a piece together, no-name car. Can anything be found out about the steel rim of that tire? This is the remnant of a burnt tire. But it's not a motorcycle tire. The police are investigating around this steel ring, arriving at a tire factory in Guiyang. Let the technicians help identify whether this circle belongs to the truck. It's a tricycle. Or a bicycle. Expert. After careful research and analysis, I think this rim should be the rim of a van tire. But there are too many vans. It doesn't matter where this van is. The streets are full of Wuhlings. Chang'an. There are so many and too many people are using them. So the wire ring doesn't mean much to the police anymore. Neither the motorcycle nor the traveler present any useful clues. In addition to these two pieces of information, what else is a wreck? One is the location. That's a garbage dump. Where is the garbage from the dump? They are all collected and transported by the sanitation department. So is it possible that the motorcycle and the steel ring were also transported by the garbage truck? That garbage dump is the garbage dump of the entire Gayong town. That's where all the trash in town goes. Did the garbage trucker see this motorcycle when he was transporting garbage? Then I contacted the master. The master just said, oh. I did transport garbage there recently. But I've never been to the area where you found the body. The garbage dump is too big. I'm not unloading garbage there. All of a sudden, the clue to the garbage dump has also been broken. Oops. What to do? Now we can only rely on the most primitive interviews and surveys to figure it out. As for the police, they focus on the garbage dump. Conduct careful interviews with the surrounding population within dozens of kilometers. With the cooperation of Ziyun County Police, I really made a discovery. There is a long-term migrant worker in Bayong Township, Ziyun County named Jiang Guomei. But this Jiang Guomei, haven't seen it for a long time. No one can be contacted. He can't find her. What about Jiang Guomei? Born in December 1972. He was 39 years old when the accident happened. Two children who have been riding motorcycles to do odd jobs in other places have disappeared for a long time. Almost 2 weeks. Since there is hope, then check it quickly. The police rushed to his home and extracted DNA samples from Jiang Guomei's parents. Then send it to the provincial department for inspection. At the same time, the police also launched an investigation into Jiang Guomei's social relations. Something went wrong this time. Jiang Guomei. Except there is a daughter-in-law at home. There is another lover. This lover's surname is Yen. This Jiang Guomei and Yen. April to August 2011. The two of them went to work together. Where is this Yen? Born in October 1976, 36 years old. Also has 2 children. After the police found Yen, Yen said that he did know Jiang Guomei. But I haven't had any contact in the past 3 years. Both of them have their own families. What if these two people really have an improper relationship? Then this Yen will definitely not tell the truth. After all, you have to take care of your own family. Take into account social impact. The police can only know it from the side. I learned another important fact. Before Jiang Guomei disappeared, the last time he appeared in people's sight, it was more than 10 days ago that I had dinner at a restaurant in Bayong Township one evening. Bayong Township is not big. Basically you eat there. Where are these people eating? Everyone knows. After eating, Jiang Guomei answered a phone call. According to everyone, Jiang Guomei was very angry at that time. I found a kitchen knife and prepared to rush out. Later, I asked the hotel owner to. This is also Jiang Guomei's friend. Stopped him. Just grab the knife. Jiang Guomei is not finished yet. He left angrily. According to this situation, the police retrieved Jiang Guomei's call records and showed that the last call Jiang Guomei received was from Yen. Yen could have told the police before. No contact for 3 years. It's all on the phone. This is called no contact. Police. When deciding to conduct an in-depth investigation into Yen, there is a news out. The DNA test results are out. The remains of the man found in the garbage dump were none other than Jiang Guomei, who had been missing for many days. Now it has been confirmed that the deceased was Jiang Guomei, who was killed by someone. Then Yen, who made the last phone call to him, naturally becomes a suspect. The police also launched an investigation into Yen's social relations. This investigation is incredible. This Yen is not an ordinary person. This guy is so open. It's open now. Not only did he have an improper relationship with Jiang Guomei, there are so many good friends of the opposite sex out there. They are all good friends who can have sex at night if nothing happens. Everyone, it's hard to say anything about this Yen. This woman is so frivolous. Have a family. Have children. Have a husband. But it also hooks up with this one. Have some fun with that one too. During investigation, someone reported that Yen had a lover named Liang who he had a lot of contact with. What about Liang? Born in 1970. 42 years old and has 2 children. So is it possible that Jiang Guomei's death was related to Yen? What about Liang? Was it the love triangle that ultimately led to this tragedy? The current evidence cannot directly prove that. The police then thought about it. Let's try to scare the snake away. What I was most afraid of when committing crimes before was to alert the snake. This time we deliberately alerted the enemy. If he is the answer, definitely the behavior will be abnormal. He will be nervous. Something is about to be revealed. They're probably going to run away. Then we can catch them. As expected, Liang was called over at this time. After asking questions, Liang. Yan's behavior is very abnormal. After the questioning is over, Liang went home without stopping. Withdraw money immediately. Pack your things and get ready to run. Hey. This proves that there is indeed a problem. At this time, the police were confused again. Catch them? If these 2 people are arrested, they must be on the same page. It's hard to know the truth. No actual evidence. You're not easy to catch either. You're done asking. You still have to let people go. At this time, the police decided not to rush. Use technology to step up evidence collection. Soon the police got a piece of evidence. We have evidence that Liang had appeared in the garbage dump. The time is right now. They can be arrested. But then an accident happened. There is no trace of these 2 people. Where did it go? Locked quickly through technical means. These 2 people have already fled to Guiyang railway station. Contact Guiyang immediately. The police, with the cooperation of local police. Yen and Liang were captured in the waiting hall. Passed the first trial. The 2 confessed the facts of the crime. At the same time, he also confessed the crime. Not just the 2 of them. There are others. One is named Wang Jiangang. One is named Yao Haibin. The police again visited Beiyang Township separately. And Xinzhai Township, Changchun County. Caught these 2 people. It turns out that this is Yen. Jiang. Liang is 3 people from Beiyang Township, Ziyun County. Don't look at it, they're all married. But they are not good people. They all cheated on their wives. Husband betrayed the family. A chance. Jiang Guomei went out to work and came to the village where Yen lived. Jiang Guomei is here to do lumber business. Please ask Yen and the villagers to help cut down the trees. The 2 of them became familiar with each other after going back and forth. This familiar relationship is getting closer and closer. The 2 naturally had sex. But according to Yen, he said I have no feelings for Jiang Guomei. The reason why I slept with him. Why? I'm being coerced. Well. He raped me. Well. Because of face. I, Liang, thought about not making the relationship with him too tense. I didn't call the police. Later, he often threatened me. He often rapes me with the help of alcohol. My husband works outside all year round. I can only tell these things to my neighbors. That is Liang. Liang is naturally willing to listen to Yan's worries. Because he also feels that Yen is beautiful, doggy and shameless. Not only listen to his troubles. I still support him financially. No money. Then I'll give you some. Lean slowly. We also slept together. Before the crime, Yen was threatened by Jiang Guomei. Said he wanted to kill Yen. They also want to blow up Yan's house. The night of the incident, Yen called Jiang Guomei. In fact, Yen and Liang had already discussed it at this time. Yen took the initiative to invite Jiang Guomei out. He was afraid that Jiang Guomei would not come, deliberately irritating Jiang Guomei on the phone. Jiang Guomei also has a hot temper. This guy caught Jiang Guomei's attention and rushed to the scene immediately. Came here on a motorcycle. The place they agreed on was next to a small road without street lights in Xinzhai Township, Changchun County. How could he know? There's not just a conspiracy here. And what about Liang? Liang is already waiting for him in the dark. Because that road is very remote. There are no street lights either. Very black. Can't see anything. I didn't react when I got off the car. This Jiang Guomei was killed. How can someone like Liang kill someone so quickly? Of course it's impossible. Liang is not the only one who committed the crime. Several people. It was Liang who found Wang at that time. Wang Yangang offered to give him 6,000 yuan as a reward. The two of them went to the town to buy gasoline. After killing the person, he called another suspect. It's Yao Haibin. Because the body is too heavy. They couldn't lift Liang himself, but he had a red van, so he drove the van over. 3 people carried the body up. Take it to the garbage dump in Guyong town and burn it. The truth about this case has finally come to light. If there is no relevant criminal investigation science and technology support, this case is indeed not easy to solve. After cracking, the relevant criminal suspects have been arrested in the detention center in accordance with the law. This Yen, this woman, is extremely regretful. He said, "What I miss most is my child." And Liang also regrets it. He said, "I shouldn't kill and burn a woman's body. What will happen to my family now? What should I do with my child?" And he also made a request to the police. Things are already like this. Don't let them come to see me again. I'm sorry for them. As for the victim Jiang Guomei, a deformed underground love affair lasted only a few months. This kind of stimulation picture-in-picture one is fast in a moment. In the end, the price you pay is your life.